Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hey guys, I'm back. As you can see, the hair is no longer blonde. I'm adjusting to it. It's 1 minute I like it, and then the next minute I'm like, it's back to how I was when I was at school. It's boring, but my hair does need a break, but I'm hoping to go back to colours as soon as possible. We now have also entered into the UK kind of rainy season, which is for us about 9 months of the year. And so I've got no tan left. It's really washed me out. So my friends said that she's trying to convince me to do fake tans, so watch out, I could come on here next week and have like a perma orange tan. Look like an Oompa Loompa. As some of you know, my husband and I went away for a weekend, well, a long weekend down in Brighton. So we had a great time down there. I've done a little clip for you. Those of you that are not interested in my personal life, as you like to tell me, you can whiz on by. But for the rest of you that like to see this tiny little holiday house that we've stayed in, here's a quick clip for you.
This is our tiny little holiday home. And my husband has actually left the keys in the front door. No surprise there. And this is the little living space. Some games to play. And we've got a tiny little kitchen. We've got everything we need to cook. And hopefully my husband's not hiding from... Oh, no, there he is out in the garden. Hi! Check this out. Little dinky bath. Well, I say little dinky bath, it can fit a couple of people in it. But you don't need to know that. Yeah, so there's a little patch outside, you can see there's a tiny little patio area. And yeah, so very small. But it's perfect for a couple of days stay. It's amazing the size of houses that some people live in. I moan about our house being small, but whew. And they've got a room set up for people that obviously want to work, a desk space. And you literally can only turn around in the room. And this is the main bedroom. There we have, yeah, perfect for us, but as I said, it's incredibly tiny. This is the sort of space you're working with. Oh, but yeah, thought I'd give you guys a show. I know you guys in America and Canada would be like, how tiny? We have a shed this size.
We also treated ourselves and went out to a restaurant I've always wanted to eat at, called the Riddle and Fins in Brighton in the Lanes, and it was amazing seafood. My husband also bought me a new ring. As you can see, this one, the big moonstone, which it's like a thing when we go to Brighton. He buys me a new crystal piece of jewellery. We went for a nice walk down the pier and along the beach. So speaking of beaches, we have had the whole of the Wessex family down helping out on the Great British Beach Clean. There we go, said it. They went to Portsmouth Beach, one of the many beaches around the UK that were holding this event. They do it every year. It normally runs for about a week because humans can sometimes be an awful species and they dump rubbish and lots of stuff washes up from the shore. So it's really great to see Sophie and Edward, it's nice to see Edward out actually, encouraging their children and also making this a point as a member of the royal family to be encouraging this sort of behaviour. I found myself this year, because my husband and I couldn't go away on our normal sort of holiday destinations, I became a bit of a beach tyrant. What about your mess over there? I'm not cleaning up your rubbish for you, as I pick up everyone's rubbish and put it in the bins. So yeah, I mean, stick a couple of vino in me. Wah. I know some of you find that so hard to believe, but it is disgusting, and it really irritates me that people will go to a beach to have a nice day out with their family at the beach and then leave their rubbish so other families can't enjoy the beach. What is wrong with you? Pick up your rubbish. Ooh, where did that come from? Following on with Sophie, yet again, we have had Sophie take part in the London Marathon. She was running with a man called Tomas, who has learning disabilities, and he was running for the charity MENCAP. Sorry, I had to think then. I look off onto the distance when I'm thinking. And she ran with him, because she's a known runner, she ran with him for the first leg of the marathon. Sophie has actually been a patron of MENCAP since 2004. The charity itself works with lots of people that do have learning disabilities, and it helps them just lead as a normal life and be included and have equal opportunities as the rest of us. I think it was lovely to see Sophie. Actually, the first I heard of it was pictures being released to the papers of Sophie running alongside Tomas. This is what I love about Sophie. Sophie doesn't sit there and tell us what we all need to do. Sophie is the one in the hospitals helping with the food. Sophie is the one packing food. Sophie is at these charity drives picking up rubbish from beaches, and she is the one running part of the marathon. And this is why people love her, because she's not just sitting there and talking about what we should all do. She's actually part of it. She's actually trying to encourage us to make a difference, and that is the best way to encourage people. You lead by example. So this obviously is leading up to you know who over in LA. Harry has been seen speaking to, well, he actually did a video where he wished all of the London Marathon runners good luck because Harry, I believe he's a patron. And of course he's using it to do a video and to stay in our headlines. So Harry wished them good luck and thanked them for allowing their extraordinary spirit of the event to continue to shine across the globe. Who do you think wrote that one? I don't know. Is it Harry writing his own notes now because he has become that much of a parrot of Meghan? But shining across the globe. Oh. Now, this not quite being enough, Harry has then met up with a couple. It says all of the newspaper medical articles says Harry surprises couple running the marathon in LA. What this couple are doing, they're running a virtual marathon. People that could not attend the London Marathon this year, didn't want to, health risks, lots of obviously different reasons why people could not attend it, could have downloaded an app, they entered into it and it tracked them and it reported the results. So they still ran the marathon, but you could run it anywhere that you wanted, which is great, social distance marathons. Now, the reason why Harry has surprised this particular couple is that because they entered into the virtual marathon, the organisers of the marathon were asking people, have you got any stories that we could tell, we could share while you're still taking part, and you know, anything that's inspirational. And this couple do, you know, she's fought cancer, which made her want to get healthy, her husband's gone along on this journey with her, and you think, okay, yeah, that's great, it's inspiring. So then they got, you know, this is the surprise, then they got told that the ambassador of the London Marathon was going to come and meet them. So you can guess who turned up to meet the couple. Now, he hasn't met the couple just when they're about to go running. As you can tell, she's in jeans. That's not exactly marathon running wear. But he's turned up to interview them, to speak with them, naturally with a full camera crew. Someone else who I'm not quite sure is off in the distance, but he got cut out of the second picture. And then afterwards, they all took Harry to a playground and pushed him down a helter-skelter. Obviously that bit is a joke, but if this was genuine, or what Meghan likes to call authentic, that's one of her latest buzzwords, this couple could have literally been surprised, taken a few pictures on their phones, they released it to social media, then we read about it. But no, Harry's turned up with his own photographers, with his camera crew. What is it with this couple that they make people sit on the ground? So sit on a dirty playground floor. Lovely. Surely they could have found somewhere. But obviously it's got to look authentic that Harry just turned up and surprised them. I'm sure it did make their day. They posted online how, you know, it was an amazing experience for them. They never thought that they would meet Prince Harry, but it was at the end of their post that really sealed the deal for me. The couple were told that they would receive the official photographs and the official video via email at a later date. So it was a setup, it was a stage, and all right, this couple, lovely for them, their story has been told, lovely experience for them. But Harry has only done this or been able to do this because he still has links to the UK monarchy. This is a perfect example of them having their cake and eating it. He's only able to film this and to have this because of his patronages, through being part of the royal family, for being a prince of the United Kingdom. You're just like, honestly, how can he get out of bed and take himself seriously? They wanted to leave the royal family. Harry is using his links to the UK monarchy, for the fact that he is a patron of the London Marathon, to have got in touch with this couple, to be part of this, to film this, which is no doubt going to end up on their Netflix Fly on the Wall documentary, which they're being paid millions for. How much better would it have looked if it was actually Harry, oh, I don't know, running alongside them, or actually just getting off his arse and actually practice what he preaches? But he's become too famous now, just like Meghan, to actually, you know, be down with the plebs, be down with the paupers like the rest of us. This is the thing that bugs me with their videos supporting the various groups and marches and riots and various things that have gone on in the US. I'm not allowed to say the word, it's a bad word, it's barred on YouTube. This shows how tone deaf the couple are. Meghan's sitting there in what I can only describe as if she's got pretty much the leather chaps on, which were vegan. Meghan does like to remind us that she is a vegan, remember? Sometimes she's a vegan, she's a part-time vegan. That's why she wears sometimes lambskin skirts. I don't think veganism works that way. You either are or you're not. You don't dip in and out of it. And from the neck up, she's just looking like, well, actually from one side there up, she looks like Kim Kardashian. It's like we also know that they support all of the marches that have gone on, Meghan calling it a beautiful thing. And oh, it was such a wonderful thing. Try telling that to the people who had their sort of like businesses burnt down. I mean, a lot of people literally lost their income because of these type of marches. She is completely tone deaf, and people find it more offensive that she's actually sitting in a $14 million Montecito mansion, courtesy, and it is courtesy, of the UK taxpayers, of the British monarchy, of white privilege. And that's all it comes down to. Married to one of the most white privileged men to ever be born into existence. Listening to Meghan sitting there on the sofa say that she had no idea that we had Black History Month in the UK, when here, as you can see that several people have posted on social media, that is in fact another lie. She actually wrote personal thank you letters to a school to thank the children for their letter to her, which they did as part of Black History Month in October. Trevor Phillips has even pointed out the fact that Black History Month has been celebrated in the UK since 1987. This again shows that Meghan doesn't even know what she's talking about and didn't take any time to learn anything about the UK. Yet here they are sitting on a sofa still trying to peddle this narrative. Listening to Harry talking about his racial enlightenment. Yeah, okay, Harry. If it's that wonderful and she, she really wants to get involved with this, let's see the next march. Let's see Harry and Meghan down in the crowds, let's see them down and see how peaceful and beautiful and wonderful those marches are. You're never going to, are you? You're talking about a couple that won't even go to a dentist appointment, acting like they're the president of the USA with the number of people and security staff around them. They're not going to be down doing marathons with people. They're not going to be down joining these marches. I just don't understand how anyone can take this couple seriously. They're only sitting on that couch in that Montecito mansion because she married into the whitest privileged family. All of the money and everything they have now, Harry, it's come from inheritance from the Queen, from the Queen's mother, from Princess Diana, from our future king, and taxpayers' cash. Even celebrity bitchy business guru, I would say, Perez Hilton has even started to speak up about it. He said that their popularity is definitely in the decline. He said they're not as popular since they've left the royal family to the Americans. Partly due to the type of engagements they're also picking out is it's beginning to lead to the US media to question their motives and to question, their finding freedom victim narrative. Well, really? Because it seems like that you've actually got intentions, and you always did from the very beginning. And Perez has pointed out, because of the bug that hit, the worldwide bug, people just aren't as interested in them. People have got a lot of stuff going on in their lives. Meghan recently turned around and said that she's loved lockdown because, she got to spend time with Harry whilst people are losing their jobs, their businesses, how are they going to survive in the future? Little things like that come out don't really endear the public to them. Insulting the Queen but then using their patronages still. The fascination for this couple, especially in America, is definitely in decline from where it was 8-9 months ago. And I have to admit, us in the UK, we knew this would happen. We knew as soon as they moved to the US shores, the US media that have been defending them would start seeing them for their real colours. Because it did take, not all Canadians, but it took for them to lie about Canada, lie about going and living in Canada, wanting to bring up Archie in Canada, taxpayers funding for their security when they had more than enough money to do that themselves, knowing all the time that they never intended to stay. They were going to, obviously jump over to LA. And now that the Americans are seeing them on such a regular basis, Harry and Meghan are shooting themselves in the foot because narcissist masks will slip. The more things that they try and get themselves involved with where they're talking about subjects that they've got no understanding in, no education in, and Meghan coming out with her same set of buzzwords, just jumbled up word salad. It reminds me of playing Scrabble. Just basically grab all the letters, throw it out, see what you can make of it. It's all the same stuff. And the more people are reading about it or seeing about it, the more people are switching off because they don't want another boring, monotonous speech from Harry. And they don't want to hear Meghan talking about being authentic and shining a light, and this is what we need to do, without actually doing anything herself. So speaking of a narcissist mask slipping, this brings me to the final segment of the video, and this actually really cheered me up. Meghan appeared on a Zoom call for Fortune's Most Powerful Women, right? Now, I've read about this. She had to pay $13,000 to speak on it. So they haven't approached her. This is all of the stuff that we're seeing Meghan appearing. She's pleading, she's getting her PR team into sort of like arranging for her. She's calling in favours. This is it. She's not as hunted and wanted as what she would like everyone to believe. And it was all going extremely well. We have the typical happy faces of Meghan while she was, the centre of attention, because all of those 15 minutes were on her. She was loving it, so she's smiling and everything, she's all happy, and then the switch got flipped. This is when you see a narcissist mask fall. We've seen it once before when Harry must have said something to Meghan. I guess he stood up for himself in the car when they were leaving that Royal Marines concert on their last kind of farewell few days in the UK. So she's all smiles and everything, but where it went wrong was when the host, Ellen McGirt, turned around and said to Meghan that she's not the most powerful woman. Oh my gosh, look at her face right now. We've had a body language expert that has spoken out in the UK media called Bruce Durham, and he points out that that is the exact moment when her ego basically boiled over and came to the surface. I took one look at that picture and was like, she's gonna blow. Bruce goes on to explain how Meghan changes whilst the interviewer is heaping praise on Meghan. Everything's absolutely fine. Well, we've seen this before, haven't we? But the moment that Ellen turned around and said that she's not the most powerful woman, Meghan perceived it as a threat. I'm going to show you a little clip here. From brushing her hair over to reframe herself, lots of eye blocks as she wants to be the person in the room, and the tightening of the throat. I found this quite interesting. I'm going to put a link to his video in the description of the video if you look just down there, because he's actually a very animated, funny person. He talks about the throat tightening. You can really see her throat tense up when Ellen says that to her. Apparently it's animalistic that we all do it, and I think, no, there have been moments where you're out for dinner with friends, your husband said something, and you can feel that go, because what it is, you're going, you wait till we get home, I'm gonna, you know, if you can't get away with kicking them under the table. Usually my husband, if I try that tactic, goes, ow, what'd you kick me for? And I'm like, it's clearly obvious that Meghan was not happy with that. I mean, it did come out round about the same time, but I don't think it would have been the time that she just started filming, and that the Mail on Sunday have won another segment of the court case where they're allowed to use finding freedom. Because it's pretty obvious, as we all know, that Meghan and Harry have had something to do with that book more than what they're letting on. So round about that time, obviously Meghan has lost again that segment of her court case, which she's still, despite lawyers telling her to drop out of it, she's not going to do it. So I really am looking forward to this court case next year. And now that this has happened, I really hope there are more US interviewers, when they have Meghan Markle on, are actually brave enough to actually say this rather than praise her, because all we've seen so far, the people interviewing Meghan are like nodding, going, which feeds into Meghan's ego. But if they actually ask her, you know, a few questions or something that's just maybe not quite what she's expecting, I just love to see that mask fall. But the more that she wants to get involved with stuff where she's going to be interviewed, if she's not ready for that answer, I think we're going to see a lot more of Meghan's resting bitch face, if I'm honest. I can honestly say I don't think Ellen Gerst is going to be on the Christmas card list. I'm actually going to watch the Prince William David Attenborough documentary tonight, this evening, with my husband. That's why I didn't want to start talking about Prince William and Catherine. So I'll be concentrating more on them tomorrow. I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.